Scott,
Ashley.
our Cooley community, welcome to Couched. How are you today?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, great. Let's do that again. Hey, Scott.
Yes.
Welcome to Couched. Did you do anything crazy over the weekend?
I decided to go for a mountain bike with an old friend of mine. He's not old, he's younger than me. He was a pastor at New Life, Ori Zaka. We went mountain biking. He's been doing it for a long time. And he killed me. I literally got to a point where I had to get off my bike. I was that tired.
Literally died.
Yeah, my legs just couldn't go any further.
Literally, he died.
Yeah, and then I had a good stack as well. So
Literally. I had a good stack. I fell up the stairs over the weekend.
Yeah, you're all right.
A pretty wild weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine. I think my ego's bruised more than my body, but anyway.
Yeah, so was mine.
Yeah, but you were doing something cool when you stacked it. I was carrying washing.
It probably didn't look cool.
That's probably true. Whereas I looked very cool falling up the stairs. But apart from our wild weekends, we also had church yesterday, which was wild and exciting. Stu brought a message, didn't he?
He did. He talked about the lessons we've learned as a church over this period of being in lockdown and COVID-19. And I thought that was really good because he sort of named the things that we've all been struggling with. But then also the hope that we have in Jesus that, you know, the church is not shut, it's not closed. We're just doing it differently by different mediums. And so, you know, it's to lean into that in that season and keep leaning into Jesus. So,
you may hear that our toilets are being renovated and very excitingly getting prepared for what is coming up in the next couple of weeks. Scott, speaking of changing seasons, what is happening?
Well, we are opening up again. We weren't closed, but we are resuming physical gatherings on the 16th of August, Sunday the 16th. So we are super excited for that.
I don't know about you, but I've been busting to tell people that it's happening, and now we finally, on Couched, get to actually announce it. It's pretty cool. Yeah,
we've been sort of working with this for a couple of weeks and wanting to tell you, but we couldn't until all things were approved by elders and other things. So.
And everything is approved and ready to go. Tell me then, Scott, if we are open then for physical gatherings from the 16th, when I show up here on Sunday, what should I expect and how can I get myself ready for Sundays?
Yeah, it's a really good question because things are going to be a whole lot different to what it used to be.
There are 3 things that we want our people to remember as they get ready to actually join us for church on a Sunday. What are the 3 things? Number 1
is confirm your seat.
Number 2
is COVID safe.
Number 3
is culture carriers.
Awesome.
And so we're going to have to register online first. So you're going to have to book a ticket. So we have to, because of COVID safe regulations, we are going under the industry COVID safe plan for places of worship. So we have to have it ticketed and we have to reduce the number. So here at Coolangatta, we can only have a maximum of 50 people in the auditorium, but we can also have 50 sort of in the Kids Life area. So you're going to have to go online, you're going to have to book a ticket and then come and be ticked off as you come in.
And so just to be clear, registering will probably be from next week onward. As soon as that booking form is up and ready, we will let you know through our social media platforms as well as through an email. What does it mean for us to be COVID safe on a Sunday? So for example, when I walk in here on Sunday morning, what should I expect and what are my responsibilities?
Yeah, there's a lot. So just be understanding that we got to come early first and foremost. So if you've booked your ticket, you need to be here. Say you've booked for the 8 o'clock service, you need to be here before 8 o'clock because if we have any walk-ins off the street, if you're not here by 8, we'll give those tickets to people who are walking off the street because we don't know if you're turning up or not. So get here early. When you get here, you've got to check in with one of the Connect team and they'll check you off. We need to have record that you're here for COVID safe industry plan. And also you need to sanitize as you come in. So you've got to sanitize your hands before you come into the auditorium. You'll see in the auditorium that it'll be set out with only 50 seats and they'll be 1.5 meters apart. So we'd ask that you would keep your social distancing while in the auditorium, which would be really helpful. Also with no hugging or shaking hands or anything like that because we want to keep our whole community safe. And so if you can sit in those positions, that'd be great. If you're from the same family, you are allowed to bring those chairs close together and sit together. But if you're not, if you're part of a different family, then you keep away and stay in the seats where they are.
Sure.
So that'd be different. Obviously, after the service, we would actually ask you pretty much to leave it straight away, because we have to then go throughout the auditorium and clean the auditorium, get ready for the next service. And this is just part of the industry plan, is to keep everyone safe in our community,
So good.
so we don't have an outbreak.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely important.
Yeah.
So Scott, our third big ask for our community would be to be a culture carrier.
Yeah.
How do we do that well?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like when you go overseas on an aeroplane and then you jump off at a different country, immediately you start looking at the culture. You're trying to work out, how do people act here? Are they loving? Is it a safe place? And so to be a culture carrier of New Life is to carry our core values, which is loving God and loving others, essentially. More people, more like Jesus.
Yeah.
So to be a culture carrier in our church is to really carry the culture and our core values.
Yeah.
And so how does that look on a Sunday? Well, it looks like getting here early, following the procedures that we have in place. So it's a safe place for others and caring about others. You might think, well, I don't need to worry about that because I'm young or I'm fit and healthy. But it's actually thinking about others and going, well, there's others that might be concerned. So let's not shake hands and do things like that. And that's the most loving thing to do. But it also might look like, we might get a bunch of people coming in off the street because we're so central here in Coolangatta, and we might be full. If you've been a Christian for 30 years or 40 years, it might be an idea to go, well, you know what? This person doesn't know Jesus. They've walked in off the street. I might just get up, me and my wife, or just go and have a coffee so someone can come in and meet Jesus. And that's carrying our culture of inviting hospitality, which is one of our core values. And so there might be sometimes you might get a tap on the shoulder from one of our Connect team. Don't see that as we don't want you here, but we want to push the gospel forward even in this season. Even though we're under restrictions, we believe that God wants to save people, wants to bring salvation. And as a ministry team, that's what we're here to do. We're here to preach the gospel and see people go from death into life. So that's what carrying the culture is. And not only that, it's volunteering. Because we're doing multiple services now, and there's only a few of us as part of New Life Cooley, we don't want to burn out 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 people doing 2 services on a Sunday. If we all just jumped in together like a family does when they're cleaning up the dinner table, you might only have to serve once a week rather than, a handful of people serving every single week.
And I would say as well, we sort of have that added challenge. I think when you launch a new church, you're already a little bit tight on volunteers, and sort of looking for people to jump in and help. All the more for us when we're having to launch with 2 services and the same amount of people or less people, it can be an added challenge. So it might even be that you might say, okay, well, I've got a family, but I can serve 1 service once a month. Even that small way of serving is going to be such a huge help for our community. So don't think that what you can bring is too small. Everyone can serve and everybody can bring something, and it doesn't have to look like anyone else. Okay, so say I want to serve. Say I've heard what you've just asked and I'm like, yep, cool. Actually, I want to put my hand up. What's my next step? Who do I ask and how do I get involved? Yeah,
so we're going to have obviously Ashley and Panisia, they're going to be leading the worship team, so we need people for worship.
And our tech team as well.
As well, so on every Sunday, 2 services. We've got Beck, who runs our Kids Life ministry. She'll be looking for leaders to look after our kids. And don't worry, it's not like that you have to be a teacher like at a school or anything. Sometimes we just need people over the age of 18 with a blue card just to be there to assist Beck, and so we have the right ratios for kids versus adults. So it's not something that's hard at all. But we also have David Shembry. He's going to be running our Connect teams as well. That's just checking people in with this new COVID safe sort of ticketing system. We'll have to get checked in and make sure people wash their hands, and cleaning up after the service and things like that.
So the 3 C's for you guys to know as we get ready to enter this new season of church. Number 1,
confirm your seat.
So good. Number 2,
COVID safe.
COVID safe. And 3,
culture carriers.
Oh,
wow, it's been a big morning.
It's been a big morning, but you know what? We cannot wait for 2 weeks from now. It's going to be a cracking morning as we finally, after months of waiting, are able to meet again together. So much to look forward to.
Yeah.
When we know more about booking the seats for our church services, we will let you know ASAP. But until then,
see you later.
See you later. Peace out.
Amen.